Hey guys, it's almost Valentine's Day, and this week I'm talking about tea and how to get it and how I got started on it. Basically, how I got started on it was I got rejected from graduate school. I also quit my job that I absolutely hated, and I was soul searching basically, and then I looked on Tumblr and there was the word transgender, and before I knew it, I was watching YouTube channels, YouTube videos, especially Skylar Kurgel's channel. I looked through every single video he had, and I started to relate to him in that I was transgender myself. Right after my birthday, around the end of June, I ran down to an informed consent clinic. Now notice that I went informed consent rather than just go find a gender therapist or a licensed social worker and talk with them, and hopefully they would refer me to an endocrinologist after they approve me and give me my letter for tea. I realized that according to the WPATH standards of care, I would have to wait an extra 3 months, and with that time frame, assuming that the endocrinologist didn't have a waiting list, I would be basically wouldn't be starting until probably like January of this year, and I actually started in October of last year. So that wasn't gonna fly with me. I didn't want any gatekeeping, and we had a famous informed consent clinic here in New York City, so why wait? I still had to wait anyways, but it was not like as much as I had to really. In short, there's like two ways to get on T. There's the traditional gender therapist who will refer you to endocrinologists and send them a letter that you're sane in the head and you're approved to start testosterone, basically hormone replacement therapy. And then there's informed consent clinic, assuming that you're over 18. Now, these are both viable routes, but I would generally tell people to go towards gender therapists instead of informed consent unless they're 100% sure this is what they want and know that it's their responsibility if things go wrong, and they know what they're doing basically, and they don't need a therapist, and they're not unsure of their gender identity, if they're not questioning at all basically. Informed consent would be the way to go. But if not, and you're not sure of if you want to take testosterone, then you should definitely go find a gender therapist or a licensed social worker that has experience with gender and LGBT issues. If not, you could also find any therapist will do really, as long as they're willing to have an open mind and willing and eager to learn through helping you get to where you need to be. But I digress. Anyways, at the end of June, I signed up for an appointment down in Calalor. That's our informed consent clinic here in NYC. And I basically filled out some paperwork, and in 2 weeks I had my blood work appointment where they would draw my blood. Now, interestingly enough, they didn't check my baseline testosterone levels. They're just giving me basically testosterone without, well, checking what my initial levels were. But then came the sad news when the appointment was over and they were like giving me an appointment to see the doctor. It was in July, by the way. And they told me, well, the earliest I can give you is October 8th. And I just sat there with my hands all over my face, really sighing deeply and just saying, okay, fine, I'll somehow get through these 3 months, because that was literally 3 months. It was July 12th, and I would have to wait till October 8th to start T. And I was just, okay, fine, let's just make the appointment. And needless to say, those 3 months were the most torturous times of my life, and I thought college was hard. So, yeah, that's basically how I got on T, and that's basically how, in a way, I kind of found myself. And if it wasn't for my friend, who I'm gonna go see, like, right after this, I would not be on T, or I would still probably be in gender therapy. So that's basically what happened with me and how I got testosterone. And like I said, I'm not really advocating for both routes for testosterone. I mean, if there's an informed consent clinic, then definitely you should go there if you have absolute if you have like no doubts about your gender identity, you really want to do this, and you're most likely over 18 and older, because assuming you don't have like very supportive parents or a supportive guardian, you're gonna have to basically take the traditional gender therapist route, and hopefully your parents are willing to come with you to one of the sessions and have the therapist explain to them in a professional manner that you really need this, and hope for the best that they're convinced. I'm sure my parents wouldn't have let me. They probably would have thought I was crazy, and knowing them, but that's basically the best recourse I can give for those that are under 18, are still at the mercy of their parents. So you should definitely not rule out your therapist. Don't underestimate them. Who knows? They might be convinced by the therapist. You better hope for the best. Keep positive and keep on trucking, and still try to live your life as well, because unfortunately time does not wait for anyone. So you should definitely get your stuff in order, especially like job and school and all those things, while trying to get on testosterone. You basically have to endure the best way you can. I know it's not a hard journey. I mean, it's not an easy journey. Why am I saying hard? It's freaking hard. Despite what people might think, it's freaking hard, and I applaud to everyone who's dealing with the dysphoria in a safe and calm manner, instead of going for methods of self-harm, like cutting yourself or any type of suicidal ideation, because definitely you should have someone to talk to. We all are valid in our feelings. I suppose I'm not as very well spoken in front of a video camera, but yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. So yeah, that's basically how I got started on T, and how I see those two routes. I just basically went for informed consent because, one, I'm over 18. My parents have like no control over me anymore, and I'm willing to pay for it. So, and it was a low-cost clinic too, so while I was unemployed, I still managed to get on testosterone, because it was only like $43.50 with the needles and stuff, and I've been doing a really good job. I had to get over my fear of needles, because the other methods were a little more expensive, and I was paying out of pocket. But anyways, that's all I really need to say for this video. I hope everyone's well. I hope you have a good Valentine's Day, or have a good anti-Valentine's Day, or like Singles Awareness Day, I think that's called. So treat yourself if you don't have a significant other, and if you don't have a significant other or a partner or a boyfriend, girlfriend, or a significant other, I suppose, take them out to dinner, appreciate them, tell them you love them, because these people do need support as well, especially if like your transition is like taking a toll on them as well. It's a transition for them as well, I guess. But anyways, see ya.